Welcome to the Pop Culture Spread Show. I'm your host, Jason. Of course, here's my co-host, Rick. How are you, sir?
Good. Welcome, everyone. And hey, Jace, how are you? Everything is great.
Yes, mate. I am doing very well. Another big week out there. I don't think there's anything bigger than the Johnny Depp
huge.
Amber Heard case, but we're not going to be talking about that because that is the best show on streaming television, anything at the moment.
Amazing.
But, there you go. So, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about stories around comic books and movies and TV and streaming and all that good positive thing. So, Rick, let's not muck around. Let's get into what have we been watching.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
All right, Rick. Now, it's my turn. I know I didn't have anything to talk about last week, but I do have something to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it much because it is referring to a new show that is starting this week between our collaborative friends in the US. And I'm basically referring to, I saw the pilot episode or the first episode of Strange New Worlds.
Wow. Star Trek.
So
there we go.
Yeah, Star Trek. So got to watch it last night, Rick. And I don't want to get into it too much because, like I said, we'll be talking about this ad nauseum. There's a new show being launched on Captain's Quadrant, our other show on our Spectrum Sanctorium channel that we do collaborative with people. But this, Rick, I have to talk about it because it's probably one of the finest first episodes to a TV show I've ever seen.
What?
And I'm not unselling it. I know. And I'm talking about like Star Wars, MCU, everything. It was such a well-crafted episode. It had everything you would, if you're a Star Trek fan, or even if you're not, this show is next level. And it's a great entry point for those who may not be into Star Trek.
Interesting.
And it's just, like I said, I'm going to go into great detail coming up on the show, which we will be filming tomorrow. But yeah, look, there's so much goodness about it. It is exhilarating. I got emotional at one point, which I never expected.
Man, you really are selling this, Jace.
I know. I was I'm a jaded guy. I've seen tens of thousands of hours of movies, television, all that in my 48 years of existence. And this show, jaw-droppingly good. So that's what I've been watching. But if you want to know more about it, check in with me and Joe and our special guests coming up. And I will share the links. And, check that out. It promises to be a great show. All right, awesome. Rick, let's move on. Let's get into some Marvel and DC.
I'm vengeance. I am Groot.
All right, Rick, we've got a little bit going on here.
Just a little bit
this week. And look, there's nothing bigger this week than what's coming up, and that's and that's Doctor Strange. But rather than just talk about Doctor Strange, and there will be a review coming on that. We are doing a big cross-platform show on that, which will be on our Sanctum Sanctorum site, and we will obviously promote and share the links around what we thought of the movie, but we haven't seen it yet. But Rick, Screen Rant, I apologize. Our friends at Screen Rant have come out with a story about all the 12 MCU movies releasing after Doctor Strange 2. And when they're coming out. So I thought it was interesting. Yeah. Now, if you do read the article, they only release to a certain point, the dates and everything when things are coming out, and then they're just
things are always get changed and rearranged. But this will give you a bit of a guideline.
Absolutely. And obviously the next one after Doctor Strange 2 is Thor: Love and Thunder. And if you haven't seen the teaser trailer for that, it's really great, really wonderful. One of the great teaser trailers out there. And let's face it, Rick, we are both very excited for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Cannot wait. And that's only around the corner, July 8th, so that's not far.
Yeah, and it really is more a true sequel to Ragnarok because it's Taika Waititi directing it again, and we get the return of Natalie Portman's character. We've got Christian Bale in there playing the villain. It promises to be a lot of fun, this movie as well. I can't wait to see it. Moving on after that, in November, we get, I think, one of the more interesting films to come out later this year is Wakanda Forever, the Black Panther sequel.
I'm really
which is, I think,
for this
everybody's fascinated based upon
how they're going to do it.
What is the story? Yeah, how do they handle the loss of Chadwick Boseman? So I'm looking forward to it. And as you can see, a lot of the material really puts Shuri in front and center of this. So it'll be interesting to see what role she plays. Moving forward, and we reported this last week, there was some date changes.
Yes.
Meaning that now we're getting Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania in February 17th, 2023, which is about 7 months away, if you think about it, 8 months away.
Yep.
And this promises to be crazy as well because they're dealing with the quantum realm quite a bit. And we see the introduction of Kang. Bill Murray is in the movie. That doesn't get cancelled, of course. But
if he behaves himself.
Yeah, look, I think everyone's kind of excited where this go. I mean,
that's awesome.
If anything, Phase 4 is really out there
good.
with some of the stories. They're really pushing it hard. So I'm really interested to see what they do. I wouldn't expect we see a trailer for this one, Rick, until
not for a while.
Later in the year. Maybe attached to Black
towards
Panther.
it.
Yeah, 100%. Moving after that, we get the much anticipated, longly waited for Guardians of the Galaxy.
The last one.
3.
The last one.
The last one that James Gunn will be involved in, and I would suggest probably most of the cast
as well.
Doesn't mean we won't get to see him in other Marvel properties, but I do think this will be the last standalone film for the Guardians. So, it seems to be like the little bits we do know, it does seem to be a true sequel to the second one because Adam Warlock will be a big part of the film, which was teased in an after credit scene.
It was
Guardians 2. After that, Rick, we get into the Marvels. The Marvels, which was originally supposed to come out in February with Ant-Man, at the Ant-Man slot, has swapped her out. So we get to see this, and I haven't really built excitement about it too much. I do like Captain Marvel, but I'll be very interested to see what they're planning to do for a Captain Marvel sequel. So we'll see what happens. And as we can see, we're going to see Monica Rambeau. We're going to see Kamala Khan because she'll be introduced in her Miss Marvel series in a few months. Yeah. So, it's kind of a mini team-up film in a way, isn't it?
So we'll have a look at that.
After that, we now get into be announced. So we don't have dates for these, but the big one is Fantastic Four. Obviously, we knew that John Watts, the directors, decided to step aside, and now I'll now be looking for a new director. If it was me, I'd give it straight to Peyton Reed, the director of the Ant-Man movies. I think he would be an inspired choice to take the series over. So,
we spoke about this last week. So,
Blade. I feel like Blade announced Blade 5 years ago. So, I'm really excited to see this new iteration of Blade. It really will take the universe into a different corner. So I'm really excited to see the actor, which is I really always stuff up his first name, but I think it's Mahershala Ali. I hope that's correct. I do apologize if it's not, but great casting choice. Fantastic actor. And can't wait to see him in this film. So moving forward is Deadpool 3. We've had a little bit of movement on it.
Here we go.
We know now they've got a director. I think they've got a focus. I don't know if they've got a script or anything yet, but it's good news that Deadpool 3 is actually moving forward. After that is Captain America 4, which was a bit of surprise, Rick, that they actually announced after Falcon and the Winter Soldier that we would be getting a fourth Captain America, and it will be focusing on Sam.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of potential there. I'll be interested to see how they go and who's going to direct it. I'd love to see the Russo brothers come back for it, but I doubt very much we'll get them back. So then we move into Shang-Chi 2, which I love Shang-Chi. I thought it was a fantastic MCU film. A lot of fun. Really, really love I love the lead. Why have I blanked on his name? I have no idea. It's early, so I'm going to kick myself after I forget this fantastic Simu Lee, is it?
Simu. Yeah, you're correct. Simu.
Yeah. So I really love the first one. X-Men.
This is
this is one of the most anticipated.
This is the one.
I think, I think we may get a little bit of a tease around X-Men in Doctor Strange 2. But how they do this, and there is absolutely a way to do this that is different from the other X-Men films. So I can't wait to see what they. But I think that's good 2-3 years away, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then we have Spider-Man: Homecoming 4. I don't buy it for a second. I do think this is a false report. I don't think we're getting any more Spider-Man standalone films for a while. So I don't think Tom Holland's coming back. And that's kind of really it. So I thought that was interesting. There's some a lot to look forward to in the Marvel universe, Rick. Now, moving back to our next story. Our next story is in regards to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, something we just spoke about. Yeah. And this is a bit of sad news, I suppose, because, as we said, we think this is the final one. And Karen Gillian came out this week.
Nebula.
Social media post, Nebula, saying that this is the final chapter for Nebula.
That's it.
Whether that character meets her demise in this movie or she's just finished as a performer, I'm not sure. So, it'll be that. See, and James Gunn has already previously said that this is the end for them and the last time people will see this team of Guardians. Not to mean there won't be a different set of Guardians. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's sad news, but I just can't wait to see the James Gunn's next Guardians of the Galaxy film. An amazing director.
No, it should be good. Oh yeah, look, and then look, he wants to focus on his other stuff and what he did with what he's been doing over in DC. He's got more freedom and he's doing some great stuff.
Go a bit more hard rating. I watched the Suicide Squad again the other day, and wow, that's definitely an R-rated film.
Yeah, no.
Now, the next story, Rick, is around, and we should have spoken about what we've been watching because we've missed out on the obvious. We tied up seeing Moon Knight.
We did, like everyone.
We saw Moon Knight. Might as well get your thoughts before we go into the story. What did you think of the final episode?
I really probably the last 2 episodes for me were just phenomenal. The season as a whole was great, but I just love the whole lot how, especially in episode 5, when Mark and Steven have to come together and the realization that Mark can't live without Steven and they are a fighting force together. And that reflects obviously in the last episode, which was just phenomenal. And then, we got the introduction of, Jake Lockley at the end, which was so cool, which explains a lot of things during the episodes. So great show. Very, very, loved it.
Look, I think it wasn't the Moon Knight I think a lot of the comic book fans were expecting, but it was a different iteration, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought the last episode was quite good. And of course, introduction to Jake Lockley right at the end teases the possibility for a second series, although it has been stated that at this stage there are no plans. But initially, Rick, and this leads to our story, there were plans for other MCU characters originally to join the series. And they were apparently some of the Eternals initially were going to be introduced. Well, going to make an appearance in Moon Knight. Because they wanted Kingo to come back. And it would have worked because, as you know, the Eternals have been involved heavily in the been involved heavily in the history of man. So it was great to see.
So they would have been around that time.
But I think also at the same time they did the right thing by just keeping it purely about Moon Knight and that mythology. So there you go. That was interesting. That at one point we were going to get Eternals, Rick.
It would have been awesome. It would have been nice to have a bit of a crossover, but like you said, I like how they've done it.
So, and that led into the next one, Rick, which is still on Moon Knight, of course, and that is that, basically Oscar Isaac has come out and said, "No, mate, the story has been done.
That's it.
We've told the story. Here it is." Even though that's the Penguin there, I have no idea why there's a picture of the Penguin on this title from comicbook.com, if you can see that. But yeah, look, it does mean, that being said, Oscar Isaac says he loves playing those characters, and if they can come up with the right story, they do believe they can come back with a
season.
Yeah, with a kind of
season.
a new season, which would be great. So I think it goes without saying that we would both love to see another series of Moon Knight.
Oscar
Isaac's
I think everyone
was
phenomenal, amazing. How he went back and forth between Mark and Steven in those one shots, especially in that last episode, it was just so good. Yeah. He is just brilliant. So
it was absolutely
we want
fantastic.
More. We want more.
Now, this is heavy in the Marvel Studios, Rick, so we have to talk about DC at some point.
Of course.
This story here,
of course,
we're talking about is around, we just spoke about James Gunn and the amazing job he did with Suicide Squad, and of course, Peacemaker, one of the great series of this year so far, that there's now talk that Viola Davis is in talks to star in a Peacemaker spin-off for HBO Max. So it would obviously be a series centered around the Amanda Waller character.
I love this. I reckon this would be good. I just think her as a character, she's a bitch and a badass. So they can do so much
the series
with this.
About her running those special ops and doing the things that other people can't do or won't do, and then she actually takes it on board and
she does it.
Has to do those hard things. Like an amazing actress, Academy Award-winning actress, phenomenal performer, who really seems to enjoy playing this character. I think it's a wonderful idea. And I think it's a natural step, Rick, to go from Peacemaker, Suicide Squad Peacemaker, and then to focus on her would be...
makes
I think it's a great idea, honestly.
And they had that introduction of a daughter in, Peacemaker as well, so they could have that combination and that relationship.
That, of course, that mother-daughter dynamic throughout the series would be
plenty
stellar
they
idea.
can do there. So, awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully it happens.
Look, hopefully it does happen. But there you go, Rick. That was our Marvel DC news. I think it's time for us to talk about, just news.
The mood is tense. I have been on some serious reports, but nothing quite like this.
Okay, Rick, talking about news now, obviously the big thing this week is Sam Raimi getting back into the MCU and being able to direct 20-year anniversary of Spider-Man, by the way.
And he's back.
And the fact that he's back. But I'll tell you what, they've been talking, Universal apparently, about maybe developing a sequel to Darkman.
Wow.
Do you remember this film from the 80s?
1990. When was it?
1990, 1990.
1990.
And a film I love.
Yeah.
And I love this film. And Liam Neeson was so fantastic in it. Very macabre, very strange. It takes ideas from The Shadow and other kind of character, film noir kind of concepts of the 40s and made a real kind of unique superhero film. And I tell you what, I would love to see Liam Neeson return. I would love to see Sam Raimi return and push that. What has Darkman been doing for the last 30 years?
Correct.
Well, what's been happening in the world of Darkman? So I'd be keen. I'd be in.
I'll be keen. I
don't know about you.
Sure. Fucking oath.
Yeah.
Looking forward. Yeah, look, anyone can do it. Sam Raimi can do it. He's kicking goals at the moment, man. He's on fire at the moment.
Well, we don't know yet. We haven't seen. We'll see.
Well, I'm sure he's knocked it out of the park with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'm sure he's done well.
We'll see.
Yeah. Sure he's done well. Now, the last story I want to talk about this week, Rick, is in regards to a show that really has no business being as good as it's been. Like, it really should have been a throwaway. The idea of it even happening was ridiculous, but it's become one of my favorite shows. And, of course, what I'm talking about is Cobra Kai. And the fact they've already dropped a teaser for season 5. Season 4 only finished a couple of months ago.
And now we've got
you should be on it. It's fantastic.
Oh, I know. I'll get on that. Maybe next week.
And so basically, and not only have they dropped the teaser trailer, Rick, they've announced a date for this. That the next season, which normally comes out in January of each year, they're now coming out in September 9th.
Oh.
So really, about 4 months away, we're getting the 5th season. 5 seasons. Blows my mind.
I can't believe it.
Possible.
Yeah.
Fifth season of Cobra Kai. And the fact that Terry Silver entered the series last season and was absolutely phenomenal. Didn't miss a beat from his role in Karate Kid 3. They've created so much depth with this show, Rick. So much, what can I say? Mythology around it, and everybody's been so good. The way they approached the first season, the way they've developed their characters, the kids in the show are phenomenal. I mean, that kid who I can never pronounce his name because I'm horrible with Olo, man, the kid playing Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
He was absolutely fantastic.
Miguel.
Miguel, that's it.
The character, just go Miguel, yeah.
I eat this up, I don't generally like binge watching stuff because I'm more of a fan of watching an episode and then waiting a week and building up with anticipation. But I'll tell you what, with this show, I binge watched season 4 in one day.
Yeah.
And it was a glorious day.
I remember, what was it, when it first came out, you actually told me, and you can see it in one of our videos, we were talking about, got this show that you're watching on, it was on YouTube. Yeah, back in when it was YouTube. And I just go, are you kidding me? Come on, man. Cobra Kai. Like, I just thought it was an absolute joke. And then I actually started watching some episodes. The first, I think they had a couple on the YouTube, and it just hooked me in. It hooked me.
Like I said,
I was like, wow. Phenomenal.
It had no business being this good. It really didn't.
No.
And they pulled off an exceptional series. They really did, there's a lot of heart and emotion in this series, and it's just it's a delight to see. So I'm absolutely thrilled to know that we're getting the 5th season coming up. So I'm just hoping that they start announcing season 6, season 7. I think the show.
I mean, how long you could? How long?
10.
Season 10.
I think they could do another 5 seasons.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think there's potential there. It's really up to Netflix at this point. They keep the show going, but it does deserve a definitive end to it, though. So whatever they decide to do, let's give them the right sign off. For what so far has been a series that has not just gotten better and better and better.
It's crazy. 5th season already. Love it. Well, I've got to get in watching season 4. So
you do, mate. You're going to lock out.
I'll maybe talk about that next week on what I'm watching.
That'd be great.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe don't tell work. You might have to chuck a ciggy for that one. I'm kidding, of course. Rick doesn't do that.
Never. Never.
Either way, that's it, Rick. That's all we wanted to talk about this week. That's the news, and of course, we love doing the show, but we do it for a reason, because we want to engage with you guys out there. We want to connect with you. We want to hear your opinions on what we're talking about. Is there stuff that you do want us to talk about? Do you agree? Do you disagree? All that good stuff. It's all around communication, Rick. And how do they communicate with us, buddy?
Guys, all you need to do is give us a thumbs up for the video. Also, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, follow us on all our social media sites. Also, hit that notification bell so you know exactly when our videos will appear. Also, comment, share, like on everything. Also, guys, if you are into podcasts, please follow us on our podcasts on Spotify, Podbean, and Apple. And you can listen to all our shows on the way to work or wherever you are going. And if you guys want to look very, very cool and stylish, and then pop down to our Pop Culture Spread store. Check out our merchandise that we've got there. All our links are down below in the bottom of the video, guys. So go check it out. Appreciate it.
Fantastic, Rick. Good stuff. Well, guys, thanks for watching again in what is episode 17 of the Pop Culture Spread Show. We'll see you guys next week with new stories, new things to talk about. And until then, catch you later, guys.
See you.